The D-pad contains crude language, cringe humor, and suggestive themes. Viewer discretion is advised.
Somebody once told me the world is gonna roll me.
We're gonna have a TV party tonight. Alright! We're gonna have a TV party, alright!
Things.
Oh, that's another thing for.
Do not worry,
comments
comrade.
there.
You'll be able to next time.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No, it's alright. I'll see you guys later then.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
I hope you guys all have a good night.
You too.
Later.
Round 2, fight.
Welcome to the D-pad. I'm your host DZ Dog here with Dragonking Mark, Kitty Sapphire, Commissar Austin Trench, and who's our new guest? Why don't you introduce yourself?
Hello, my name's Tim. Trench just invited me on, and I'm like, okay, sure, I have nothing better to do.
Well, hello.
The
Hello.
D-Pod. The
I know,
D-pad
like,
podcast, because
absolutely
you've got nothing better to do.
Oh my god, I
This is-
figured out our slogan.
We're like 25 episodes in, you already figured out your slogan. Congratulations, you need a PR department.
I am the PR department.
And if you are getting a PR department, I highly advise you leave Trench off of it.
Ouch.
Nah, it's
I'm hurt.
login's for.
I'm slightly confused. What do you mean PR department?
Press department.
Ah, okay.
Wait.
Yeah, like if I were in charge, Shadman would be in the call. He'd be like, why am I in here?
I see.
And then it'd be like an awkward sitcom that's not funny where they go, Trench!
They just have like a laugh track, and it's just one guy laughing.
and it's like, oh, and then he.
But it's an
when he hears the
asthmatic
laugh, I'll go,
laughter,
like,
too,
oh,
so
no,
he's,
don't
like,
worry, I'm not
wheezing
laughing
and
at
coughing,
nothing,
too.
I'm laughing at
Have any of you ever seen that video, like The Big Bang Theory, but only one guy finds it funny?
It's Rich Evans.
That's what it would be like.
Yeah.
Or it'd be like too many cooks.
You
Too
can
many
see
cooks?
the picture
Too many
of this
cooks.
one guy sitting in the far back row of the studio audience.
But the studio audience is nothing but skeletons.
Gee whiz.
They're not even real skeletons, they're props. Because even the dead doesn't want to be around it.
No, they're just like mannequins that they have at fashion stores.
Yeah.
But just for the hilarity of it, just like it's from that movie Maniac where they had scalps stapled onto them.
Ugh, that's horrible.
I don't know why I watch those movies.
Hey,
Whatever floats your boat, it's fine.
Austin, have you ever seen the movie Eyes Without a Face?
No, I have not.
Basically, it's kind of the way you're describing Maniac. It kind of reminds me of that. It's about a surgeon who tries to fix his daughter's face because her face was all fucked up from a car accident. So this plastic surgeon kidnaps this girl and tries to transplant her face onto his daughter's face.
That's plausible.
That's interesting. The movie
It
I'm
was
talking
made in like
about has Elijah Wood in it.
1962. Well, actually, no. It was made in 1960, and it's in French.
I might have to give that a look.
Pretty good.
I recommend you see Maniac. It's pretty good. It's with Elijah Wood.
That's the first person. It's in first person, right?
It's not like a found footage thing. It's literally you're seeing.
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean by first person. Kind of like
Yeah, but it's not
Hardcore
super shaky, which is a good thing. It's not like Hardcore Henry where you get a headache watching it.
I still haven't seen that movie. I
Is it good?
It's good, but you'll get a headache watching it.
I didn't get a headache.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
Well,
I get
watched it in
headaches
my
from, like,
theater,
minor
so it was,
things.
like really big screen, so I was like, oh.
Oh, well, if you're like sitting at the front row, I can see why that's like.
Yeah, like if you're watching on your phone, that's
Another thing. So, what's the topic of this thing?
It's like Seinfeld. It's a show about nothing.
Pretty much.
Okay, so we're just gonna talk about random bullshit then?
Yep, we each take a turn. Since you're the new guest here, Tim, you get to choose a topic. Anything you want.
Okay, well, let's talk about conspiracies about the moon landing.
I think it was all done by Rick, trying to screw with the people in the 60s.
I can imagine that.
That's like, there are all these theories that Stanley Kubrick faked the moon landing. I heard there's 2 movies about that. One of them I want to see, and one of them has the guy from Ron Weasley from Harry Potter, who that guy's not been doing anything except like running around in his ice cream truck.
I thought he had an album. Okay, he's a singer. He sings.
Does he?
No.
I thought he was in that really shitty remake show of Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels.
Oh, he was?
Yeah. It's a TV show on Crackle.
Who uses that?
No
Let's
one,
see.
except to watch that stop motion show.
Oh wow, he's only 29 years old.
Damn.
But
Wait, he's
okay,
older than I am. I'm actually quite surprised.
Same here.
What was it? Oh yeah, Crackle's been trying to make like original stuff. They had the Jerry Seinfeld show where it's just him and some comedian in a car and they're talking and shit. Yeah, but that moved over to Hulu, so that now there's literally no reason to have Crackle unless you really want to watch Joe Dirt 2.
If someone forced me to watch Joe Dirt 2, I would saw my leg off. Even if it's not connected to anything, just to show them I'm serious. I don't want to watch Joe Dirt 2.
I'd love to watch this movie, but I've got to go to the hospital. My leg's falling off, I'm bleeding everywhere, and I think I'm going to pass out
It's like,
right
no, you're
now.
not going to watch this scene where a hot girl farts on Joe Dirt.
Does that happen in that movie? I've
Yes,
never
it does.
seen.
They still do the same jokes where people hate Joe, and they fart on him. And apparently Joe lives in a trailer for some reason, even though he probably inherited his girlfriend's house. It's like, I love the first movie, but this was a betrayal of that movie.
Most sequels are.
Speaking of which,
Especially
what about
ones made by
Zoolander
Adam
2?
Sandler.
Yeah, what
I've never seen the first Joe Dirt either, but I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure I'd understand that movie because I spend a lot of time in like the rural parts of Indiana with where my grandparents live.
Yes.
Hmm.
And like it's a nice film. It's mostly a flashback show about a guy being interviewed. Like, okay, Joe, what's your life about?
Oh, it's a mockumentary?
It's not like that. It's like he's in a radio booth talking, and then he goes to flashbacks
What?
about his life. That's the whole movie, and like he got kidnapped by a Buffalo Bill wannabe.
Oh dear lord.
Okay, yeah, that sounds like the most pointless movie ever made.
It feels, and he gets bullied by Kid Rock, which is sad in and of itself. That you're bullied by Kid Rock.
I think whenever I think of Kid Rock, I think of the first episode of Silicon Valley where all those rich people are having a big party at like some millionaire's house, and then they just have Kid Rock there. He's like, "Yeah, Kid Rock's in the fucking house tonight," and then like one person claps for him.
Oh, I was thinking more of Osmosis Jones.
Oh,
That
that's
movie
not
kind of
yeah.
sucked.
That was a
That's
good
the-
movie. And series.
That's the part where he sings about wanting to fuck underage girls in a kids
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah, but they cut that.
Okay.
This is already the best episode of the podcast yet.
Thanks a lot, Kid Rock. Kid Rock for president, y'all.
Kid Rock.
No.
Insert
no,
presidential music.
No,
in
please
this
don't.
Kid Rock wants to rock some kids.
No, please. I have
With that midget from the video.
Oh yeah, that
Yeah,
kid
I
that he
checked
had.
out. That rapper is a little person. It's like, oh my god.
Wait, what rapper are you talking
Well,
about?
when they did the Daddy Cool thing, like the person that sings with him is actually a little person in real life.
Yeah.
Okay, that's very
It's like they
odd.
just made them germs. They just like made their characters germs, but they based them on their real selves.
Is it
Well,
like
really too bad.
is it like Mini Me from Austin Powers?
No. Someone else. Not all little people look the same to you, heights this male.
Mm-mm.
Just like every little person on the planet Earth is just Vern Troyer.
That's not true. Removes his mask. Bird Troyer! How'd you know? Then he kicks me in the nuts and flips me off as he runs away.
So he has a YouTube channel. I think he hangs out with like models and stuff.
Damn it.
Apparently he had like a sex tape leaked.
Amen to Vern Troyer.
Imagine. Okay, so you know the whole that on the subject of sex tapes. You know the whole Hulk Hogan sex tape was between the wife of a radio host who legally changed his name to Bubba the Love Sponge.
Yeah.
I wish I was joking.
That's an actual DJ.
Do you think,
Yeah,
like,
he's an
when Hulk
actual
Hogan
DJ
did the sex
with-
tape, he ripped his shirt off, asking if she said her prayers, brother?
I just
Oh, Lord.
okay, it makes no sense when you say that the person who got cucked by Hulk Hogan's name is Bubba the Love Sponge.
Better than Bubba Hotep.
Aww.
I'm not saying the movie was bad, I'm just saying that's a terrible name.
It is a terrible name for a movie.
It was a good
So-
movie, but it's like the name was misleading.
So, D,
Yeah.
you mentioned Zoolander 2?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, anyone see that? I have not.
No.
Nope.
Okay.
I did.
I had more important matters, like more important movies to watch.
I watched it in bed in college because I had nothing better to do.
Zoolander 2.
Yeah.
Hold
It
on.
wasn't awful, but it was trying way too hard.
I just saw the trailer where like the first thing they show is Justin Bieber getting killed. Like, ugh.
I thought that was satisfying.
Yes.
What else happened? What else came out of that movie? There was I think one of the most disappointing movies I've ever seen, Midnight Special.
I don't know. Have you seen Batman v Superman?
Ugh.
Oh, this again.
Okay, well, look,
Oh,
I
wait.
didn't have high expectations for that movie.
I love the film, but I love hassling people that were okay with it.
So you're just being a huge troll about it, huh?
Like
No,
Rick.
because as
It's
long
like
as I'm not making
it's like
fun
a
of people
love,
for their
it's like
beliefs,
an
it's
abusive
okay.
relationship. It's
Now,
something
what
you
were you saying before?
receive.
I didn't hear that. Say it again.
I was
Oh,
like,
me?
it's just a joke.
No. Him, and then you.
I
Okay.
said Austin's relationship with Batman v Superman is an abusive one. He wants to.
I don't know how that works.
I love it for Ben Affleck, but for everyone else, I'm like, God, why is it that this plot was the best one, but that's another story.
Enough about that.
Batfleck, more like Bayfleck.
Oh.
Oh my goodness, no.
Talk about clinical depression.
So, my love for Batman. So, are you guys excited for the new South Park game and like Kingdom Hearts?
South Park,
I'm
yes.
for
Kingdom Hearts also.
I've never played a single Kingle Heart. Kingle Hearts. What the fuck did I call it?
Kingdom
Kingle
Hearts.
Hearts.
Hmm.
Kingdom Hearts.
Nostalgia Final Fantasy, then that's what you call it.
Yeah, I've never played any of the Kingdom Hearts games, but I have pretty fond memories of some of the Final Fantasy games. I've played, what was it? It was released as 2 in America, I think, but it's actually 4.
Okay.
That one I remember playing a lot, and I also remember really liking 7.
Everybody, most of the populace loves 7, including me.
Wasn't that the PS1 one?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think I haven't played that game since I was like 8, but I really I remember playing it with my dad, and that's kind of why I get most of my fond memories from that.
Oh.
But what else? I'm looking at movies I've seen this year and last year. Nice
Did anybody
Guys.
see? Oh, I'm sorry. I just popped in my head. Please continue, Tim. I'm sorry.
Oh, I just said The Nice Guys was pretty good, and that's it.
Oh, I was gonna ask if anybody's seen Kingsman.
The new one?
Too.
Both of them.
First one.
I've
yes.
seen the first one. The first one is pretty good, but I haven't seen the second one.
Okay.
Because, okay, the thing about the first one is that movie is a bunch of things, like, it has a few core elements to the movie that it would not work as well if it didn't have those elements. Those being Colin Firth, Samuel L. Jackson, and the whole like story of the whole story of Harry and Eggsy. I keep forgetting the kid's name.
Who names their kid Eggsy?
Don't ask.
Like a nickname, like a British gangsta nickname.
Possibly.
Eggman.
But yeah, they're the way they connect is really interesting. But I don't know if the second movie will recapture that magic.
From what I saw, it seems pretty good.
But I am going to see the new Kingsman after I see Blade Runner 2049.
You're gonna love that movie, by the way.
Is it good?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just got back from it.
I'm seeing it tomorrow as of the time we're recording it, and a few hours ago I rewatched the first Blade Runner, which that movie, when I first saw it, I thought it was good but kind of slow, but then I keep rewatching it and it gets better and better.
I'm not gonna ruin or say anything else about it other than I had a great time watching it. It gets pretty intense sometimes and you're heartbroken by some things, but it was extremely satisfying and it didn't feel like the story was over. So I hope.
Okay then, I'll take your word on that.
I mean, that's just my perspective. I like a lot of things. Hell, I gave Power Rangers a 9 out of 10, for God's sake.
I wanted to see that.
It was a good movie, in my opinion.
There are only 2 movies. Okay, so I've seen 14 movies this year. The only 2 I've given a 9 out of 10 are Baby Driver and Good Time.
I have yet to see those two.
I've seen Baby Driver, not Good Time.
I think Good Time would have gotten more people seeing it if more praise went towards Robert Pattinson's performance. Because he is really, really good in Good Time. God
Did
damn
you
it, I
guys
can't
see
even
the
say.
trailer for Pacific Rim yet?
No, I still haven't seen. There are a lot of big movies that came out over the last few years that I still haven't seen. Like, I haven't seen any of the new Planet of the Apes movies. I've only seen Star Trek Beyond out of all the Star Trek reboots. Oh wait, no, I've seen the first one, but I barely remember anything about it.
Well, it was written by the people who were behind Transformers and the Mummy. So obviously you're gonna forget everything I said.
Oh shit, what is that? Fuck. In terms of movies I'm anticipating this year, I really want to see Killing of a Sacred Deer.
Keep talking about that movie. I don't.
Okay, so have any of you heard of this movie called The Lobster from a few years ago?
Yeah.
No.
It was my second favorite movie of last year, and it is one of the funniest comedies I've seen in a while, but it's also really disturbing and dark at times. But Killing of a Sacred Deer is supposed to be a full-on horror movie, and it's by the same director, so I'm really curious to see what he's gonna do with it. If you're editing, whoever's editing this, can you put in, like, something from one of the trailers here to, explain what I'm talking about. But there are lots of stuff there's lots of stuff in the trailer that kind of gives off a vibe of something similar to The Shining.
Strike the match, playing loud, giving love to the. How did his father die?
A surgeon never kills a patient. An anesthesiologist can kill a patient, but a surgeon never can.
Cause we got the fire.
Don't be scared, Mom. You'll see. You won't be able to move either. But you'll get used to it.
Where is she? What did you do to her?
We're gonna let it burn, burn, burn.
I don't understand why I should have to pay the price. Why my children should have to pay the price.
It's the only thing I can think of as close to justice.
We can light it up, 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 so they can put it out, out, out.
Alright, yeah, that sounds interesting. Give it a look. Killing the sacred deer.
What movie am I excited to see? Don't really know. I mean, Kingsman's a good one. Eventually Avatar 2, if they ever make it.
That's another thing I haven't seen. I haven't seen Avatar.
I've seen it.
I have.
It's not great.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I have no desire to see Avatar because the thing is, Avatar, I think there was a tweet that said, like, Avatar is the highest grossing movie ever, but no one says anything about it. There is, like, no one quoting it. There is no diehard fans of it.
So pretty.
It's basically just there.
Cat people.
Because it looks pretty and it's interesting. People are like, hey, let's watch it. And they watch it, but I mean,
It's for every pretentious person to say, this is saying something about our planet. It's like, no fucking shit.
yeah,
say something.
that
Every one of
apparently
the-
military
every one
are
of those
incredibly
is-
incompetent when dealing with, like, cat people, apparently.
Well, not
Just
even
nuke
not
the
even
site
that.
from
It's-
orbit.
No, but not even that. It's more of the fact that, we are carelessly, withdrawing materials from our planet without necessarily either replenishing them or, just leaving waste behind.
Because humanity, fuck yeah.
That's right. Screw Mother
It's
Nature.
kind of like that movie Mother, only Mother did it a lot better.
From what I've heard,
I
yeah.
haven't seen Mother either.
That sounds interesting.
It's basically Mother Nature. A bunch of people come to her house that she didn't invite, and they start wrecking shit, and then it ends with, like, the whole place being destroyed.
Well, thank you for spoiling a movie that I really wanted to see.
There are tons of spoiler reviews out there, and there's stuff,
And he works so hard
honestly-
avoiding them all.
Yeah, it was really hard avoiding it. I kind of already knew.
You
that
had a
they-
trench wrench in the
I
machine.
see. I felt one offhand thing on my timeline on Twitter that was just like, well, I know everything now. I'm able to piece together all the information from the trailers thanks to this one detail about one of the actors. Thank you. Thank you, Internet. You can't let me have good things.
Hi, this is the internet, and I want to say you're welcome. And then he just beats up his laptop like the.
That's why I know like 90% of what happens in the new Samurai Jack season without having seen it yet.
Nope, I haven't seen anything.
I hated it.
Good.
Hated it.
Stay
hated it.
away.
Why? Why? It's bad.
Because I really wanted to go into it with as fresh of a mindset as possible, but now that's not gonna happen.
I'm not
Just
gonna
watch.
Whatever you guys say, please don't say anything about Samurai Jack. It's
Okay.
on my long laundry list of stuff to watch.
It's good, it's just the ending.
Aku's actually a pineapple.
He's actually a pineapple, and he's not under the sea. He's in Nebraska the whole time.
Okay.
Nebraska.
It's like,
Nothing
where
can
else will
happen in
someone go to
Nebraska.
hide?
Kentucky.
Everything to look for you in Nebraska.
Someone.
Some films I'm excited
big-
for
big-
are Pacific Rim and the Full Metal Alchemist movie. They've released some great.
I saw some shots of Full Metal Alchemist, and by golly, I am not looking forward to that scene with poor Nina. Because I seen some screenshots and I'm like, oh my god, they're putting that scene in there and it's...
No.
I have
Let the memes die. Let them die.
Like the one where this girl put a brunette wig on her dog and walked it around a convention.
Aww.
Okay, so I had.
That's horrible. That's just, oh, no. Just no.
All the yes.
Okay, with New York Comic Con, I have not seen a single thing to come out from it. Like, I've heard there was stuff that was, released, like the Pacific Rim trailer, but I haven't had the chance to look at it. Look at anything.
We're not going to ruin your experience for it. Other than the fact they use a rap song in the trailer, so...
Well, what song?
I don't know what it's called, but it's an okay rap song, but it does have
the one from Deadpool.
Nah.
That's DMX, come...
Yeah.
Oh, they used that song?
No. That's for the Deadpool trailer. I can't remember
Yes.
what the other one was. Hold on, let me see.
It's not the one from the teaser called Yama Beast, which I actually liked. And so they even used it in the Crackdown 3 trailer. But again, I recommend that you look at the trailer after the podcast and or take a break from the podcast, go watch it real quick, and come back and it's pretty satisfying.
I have to take a break from the podcast very, very soon because actually it's getting extremely late and I have to take my darling dog out.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. So, also not, so I will watch, oh, excuse me, I am so sorry. I will watch, oh my goodness, I am so sorry. It's contagious. I will watch the trailer. I have a couple of friends that are at New York Comic Con. Right now I'm in quite a jelly mode when it comes to New York Comic Con because I've been going to the convention for 13 years in a row. And
you're in the New York area?
Yes, I am. And
I don't live near any interesting conventions.
What state are you from?
In the right dead center of Wisconsin.
Oh, I don't know too much about Wisconsin. Excuse me, Wisconsin.
It just makes me think of the thing from Red Letter Media. It's like Wisconsin is known for two things: snow and space cop.
Space cop.
Number one movie in Uganda.
Yeah. It's the Hollywood guys.
But yes, I don't know too much about Wisconsin. Maybe New Jersey, Connecticut, Philadelphia, Virginia, Maryland.
Don't act like you're not alone.
What do you mean?
Not a lot of people know stuff about Wisconsin.
You cannot be alone, Shinji.
Oh God, Evangelion. Anyway,
something. I have something about Ava. Fucking, my mother mentioned that I liked the show. Like I said, hey, I really like this show, and I was gifted a little statue of Asuka, just completely out of nowhere, and I just have this thing on my desk, staring at me.
Did you did the camera cut to the windows as we heard it?
Oh no.
Then you spilled lotion on your hands.
I don't understand.
Oh no, my ice cream melted.
I don't understand.
Don't ask.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you haven't seen End of Ava, then it won't make sense.
Just gonna say underage gangbang. And leave it there.
Gangbang?
The safe word is...
He's over by the window here. That could happen. That could be arranged.
The safe word is Karu.
Oh. Yeah, Shinji has fun with himself next to Asuka.
Who's in a coma.
Yeah, he was in a coma.
Reason.
Oh
some
my god.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
glad
glad
I've
I've never
the scene
seen
for
that.
her. Now when she watches it, she'll expect it to happen.
No. Well, I have no interest in that particular anime, even though I do think the intro is quite boss.
Look, I
okay.
I really love the show, but it's one of the most overhyped things ever.
You know,
it's like, for me, it's like the anime equivalent of Pulp Fiction. It's great, like amazing, but everyone jerks it off so much to the point where like, all right, I love this. This is one of my favorite things ever, but please, Jesus Christ, calm down.
Okay. But also, did you, you know how I feel that way towards Attack on Titan? I hate that anime so very, very much. I'm
It's
sorry,
incredibly overrated.
I don't hate the anime. I have a strong passion. I have a strong dislike for that anime. It's
You have a
terrible. I'm
serious
sorry.
disdain for it.
Well, it's because of the fact that when I was younger, there was no anime in the world that I did not like when I watched it. I watched Blue Seed, I watched Hellsing, I watched Black Butler.
Hey, we call him African American Butler, okay?
Right, don't say that about Forrest Whitaker.
Anyway, Big O, Outlaw Star, Cowboy Bebop, Trigun, Trinity Blood. There was no anime that I have seen that I didn't like. The only thing that I would have to say that I have seen that I didn't necessarily care for, but I thought it was boring, was I'm sorry to say, Sword Art Online. I thought it was very boring. I tried to get into the episode, but I ended up falling asleep. That's how bored I was. But
you're not missing anything.
But when I got to Attack on Titan, I had hope for it. I was like, the first episode, okay, it's kind of bloody and horror. Bless you. It's kind of horror ridden, and I'm not a horror fan, as some of you might know. So I'm not a horror fan, and I saw the first episode, and it made me upset, and I was like, okay, fine, they're gonna get back at these creatures called the Titans, so, everybody's hyped up, and we're gonna take these guys down. First battle. Holy yeah. Oh my goodness, it was just horrible, like sugar honey iced tea, like everybody technically died, and then when I saw Eren get killed, I literally rage quit. I flipped over the desk, I flipped over the keyboard, and I was like, screw this, I can't do it. I just can't do it. I was like, forget this. Nope, it's not gonna happen. It's not happening. I'm not doing it. So I got really upset. I felt disgusted how the Titans killed people, so it's like I have an issue for disembowelment. I don't like well, actually, yeah. Well, see, a la carte is a little bit different. But that's a story for...
I understand how you feel, because there are things like I'd say I'm able to handle the majority of gore, but there are certain things like seeing the skin of faces get ripped off is not something I...
Oh, no.
Oh, then you wouldn't like Judge Dredd Super Fiend.
No.
Yeah. And especially, like, there's something funny, like, stuff like eyes getting gouged out, I have difficulty seeing through, except for, like, certain cases, like, first Toxic Avenger and...
Blade Runner.
Yeah, Blade Runner, I was just about to say.
Well,
I want more life fucker.
I didn't realize that the dude who gets his eyes gouged out in Blade Runner's the same dude as the bartender in The Shining.
Oh, that is him?
Yeah.
He's like, so now we know why he's a ghost.
But that makes it funnier that in the theatrical cut for the ending, they just used outtake footage from The Shining.
But some gore can be funny, like Cult of Chucky. I just recently saw that, and I loved it.
Well, I mean,
Sorry.
No, I'm sorry. Please continue. I'm
No,
sorry.
I interrupted you. You go.
No, I was just agreeing with you there regarding, it depends on how it's done. Like, for instance, I'll use my husbando for instance. Anything that he does, technically, it doesn't bother me any. If anything, I guess I'm too busy involved with my husbando to actually really notice. And then technically, he gives off signs that he's not necessarily all there and he's extremely dangerous, so why would you, it's like equivalent to taking a stick and hitting a beehive with it.
It's like being with Mel Gibson.
It makes no sense. What?
It's like being with Mel Gibson for any amount of time.
No, I rather prefer Alucard than Mel Gibson.
Mel Gibson's.
I mean, they're practically the same person.
I tried.
No.
I
Just
tried watching
less
Hacksaw
anti-Semitic.
Ridge, But I tried watching Hacksaw Ridge like a few weeks ago, but then, my mother saw me watching it and laughing my ass off.
What were you watching?
I was watching Hacksaw Ridge, and she was like, if you're just gonna sit there and laugh at this movie, why even watch it?
I kind of view Hacksaw Ridge as ridiculously trying to be edgy. I mean, I don't feel bad for the guy that.
I didn't even get to any of the battle scenes. I just was laughing my ass off when the kid was praying and his dad was. It was in slow motion. He's like, "I'm gonna have to beat you now."
Cameron to pop out.
That made me laugh my ass off.
No offense, to the guy this is based on, who is a hero in many's eyes, and I'm glad his story was told, but it just kind of felt over the top.
It's cheesy Hollywood stuff,
But Mel Gibson did make a good movie out of it, whether it was serious or not.
I suppose so.
I think if you watch it as a comedy, it's more entertaining.
I mean, especially you get to see Spider-Man scared shitless.
You mean Tobey Maguire?
No.
Andrew Garfield?
Andrew Garfield weirds me out. He has a weird, unsettling turtleneck.
Kind of like Jay Baruchel?
I guess.
The guy who sounds like this, bud.
Oh, hey. It's me, Jay
From DreamWorks Dragons.
I guess.
I loved that show.
I've seen the show, not the movies.
This
I
show's
liked
good.
both. I thought both were good. It just sucks we won't get a third one. It's sad because the guys behind that made Lilo and Stitch, and I could easily tell Toothless was modeled after Stitch. In fact, Animat even said a lot of his mannerisms was put into Toothless so that they could get the former Disney fans to come over.
Oh.
You bastard, Chris Sanders, it worked.
Be happy.
I am. I'm glad they have a good, long-lasting show on Netflix.
Good.
Speaking of
It's not
Netflix,
as good as Cartoon Network show, but it's good.
Yeah. Oh, is it okay? I'll be right back. I'll leave the call on, but I just gotta walk the dog real quick. Okay?
Yeah.
Alright.
Okay.
Okay, guys, I have 2 Blu-rays set before me. Which should I watch? Power Rangers or Judge Dredd?
Power Rangers.
Judge Dredd.
Power Rangers.
Let's see a vote. Text Dredd or Rangers. Well, I'm gonna count. Who has the highest count I watch?
Okay.
Porn. Oh, god damn it.
Horrible.
Actually, I haven't seen the new Dread.
It's a cult
Actually,
classic.
That's actually
I like the
a
Sylvester
good one.
Stallone one.
What made it good was the
non-ironically.
fact it didn't have a big villain like Rico or Judge Death. It just simply had a day in the life.
Oh, that's cool.
Wait, is this Judge Dredd with Carl Urban?
Damn right. Sorry if I swear.
No,
I think
that
we've
one
already
was
said
actually
worse
really
things at
good.
this point. Then damn.
No,
Damn it.
but no, it's a really good movie. I have to say it's really, really bloody, but it's a really good movie. And And I have to say that a certain somebody got exactly what they deserved. So there.
Hey, it's better than Tron Legacy.
Ouch! Shots fired, huh?
Ouch.
Hey, at least the soundtrack was on point.
Oh yeah.
Well, I remember watching like Tron Legacy, and when it first came out to rent, and it was so boring that I fell asleep 20 minutes in.
The original one was fun. It was a lot more thought provoking because it just talked about freedom. This one is like, well, there's deep politics within the grid, and then you're just like wandering off.
No, it wasn't even that. It was just, I don't remember anything about it other than it being really boring.
That says a lot.
Where I fell asleep.
Hold on.
I just say watch Tron Legacy. No, Tron Uprising.
That I heard was good. It looked good.
It was good, and it sucks that it didn't get a second season. But if we didn't watch it, Gravity Falls wouldn't have had more seasons.
True.
So it was a choice. You either had Tron, which was just a regurgitation/sequel of a franchise that everyone was met on, or Gravity Falls, something that became a breadwinner success for Disney Animation and brought back some great Disney animators.
That's a good
So
point.
it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
This is like some jigsaw stuff that's happening with the things we love. It's like, you can only have one.
Yeah, but also, like, if they kept on with the Tron thing, it would have continued until it burned out, while, you know, Gravity Falls, they had a set plan in mind. It goes X amount of time, we're done. We're not continuing it. So, I mean, if they continued on with Tron Uprising, I mean, who knows of how it would have ended? Like, would it have ended with obscurity, like no one watched or cared about it, or would it have had a good ending?
Well, the ending,
we'll never
from what
know.
I remember, was Clue was flying over to Argon City, and he's like about to kill the new Tron and the original Tron.
No, I meant if they continued the series.
They continued it, and we would have had a reason to how things were in Tron Legacy. Or maybe it would have been like its own thing where it's like, no, you guys are saved, you all can live in the user world. Yay!
Who's seen Neo Yokio?
No,
You
I
mean
have not.
Toblerone, the
but
movie?
I want to. What I did, I was like, I went out today and I had $5, so I bought a 7-Up and a Toblerone bar, and I texted. It was my mother. I just texted her, I got a big Toblerone. And then she just said, lol. And I replied back with, you know what? You don't deserve this big Toblerone. So proud of myself, even though I shouldn't be.
Even though we're all equal to the grave. Did you bring your vape to the viewing?
Vape menacingly. Oh my
You know what I
God.
actually sometimes hope happens to people with vapes? That out of nowhere the vape explodes in their hand. It's God saying you're a douchebag.
Wasn't there like a guy vaping in Blade Runner 2049, or some sort of like smoking thing device? I don't know.
Everyone's smoking regular cigarettes.
Oh, okay, never mind. I thought it was.
But
something.
man, they're mean to replicants in this one. I'm not going to spoil anything else.
Yeah, it's not.
Because Tim, I don't want Tim to get triggered. I don't want him to get shivered in the triggers.
Don't use that word.
Kylo Ren is Han Solo's son.
What, you mean triggered?
Yeah.
You
That
getting
word-
triggered, bruh? You getting mad triggered, bruh?
Darth Vader is Luke's father. I mean,
Darth
if
Vader is
anyone in the
Anakin
audience has been avoiding spoilers for like 35 years, I just ruined it for you.
That's why people
That's one
ignore
of
the
the
prequels.
That's like one of the things where you're expected to know it, even before you watch it. Like
No,
there
no,
are movies,
that was actually
there are
a big
certain
job they
movies
set
that
cliche
people.
with.
Okay, there are certain movies that people just know everything that happens, what happens in the movie without having seen it. Like, you know, the Star Wars movies, everyone knows what goes on in those movies. Fucking
Pop culture references. That's why.
Well, yeah, like Wizard of Oz, shit like that.
Wait, there's a wizard in Oz? Great, now I can't watch the movie now. I know what's in it.
Yeah, for at a time like Comstar said, it was kind of a shock, like in the early '80s or whatever.
Yeah, they're the ones who set that trope up. I mean, character or okay.
Someone sick the
we're
dogs on us.
familiar with this concept.
Run! They be coming! Run!
Don't do drugs on me.
There, and one releases the hounds. Make me your brother. Look in your heart and you will find the answer.
This is
Timmy's
great.
stuck in a well.
Wait, Timmy threw himself in the well for attention? What is wrong with our kid?
I think you have me confused with
Listen to
someone
My
else.
Chemical Romance and Simple Plan? My god, he's a total... You know what word? I can't say on here.
Just leave him in the well.
Just leave him in the well. You just hear him quote, like, Limp Bizkit later. He's like, just cover the well up. He deserves to die.
Leave him there. He must reminisce
food or
of his
water.
poor taste in music.
He must pay for his sins. Leave him in the
He
well.
must- yeah, the only thing you give him is a belt to flog himself with.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yes, harder.
And we're demonetized because of that.
Wait, we were monetized?
No.
So yeah, I'm watching Dread now with my fascist helmet.
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
It was a Christmas gift. I was shocked to have this. I'm like, I joke saying, now I'm a true fascist, and they're like, Austin, don't joke about that stuff. Have you not read the comics? Like, no. We just know Judge Dredd because of Stallone.
Pretty much.
Isn't that
Comics,
kind
you
of fucked
never
up?
see
People
his
love Dredd.
face.
Huh?
What?
I was saying, like, even in the comics, you never see his face. But Stallone fucked that up.
Don't worry, Carl Urban fixed that. But we're never going to get a sequel. Maybe that's a good thing, because it stands on its own as a one-time thing, rather than sequelized into oblivion. Because you have to admit, some of the things in Judge Dredd's world are fucking stupid, like the fatties, or McDonald Land, Jolly Green Giant, vampire judges, and time-traveling wizards, mecha
Or,
samurai.
you know, unkillable
Make a samurai sound
zombie
badass.
Red.
Yeah, yo, that's not zombie. Well, yeah, he did fight his own zombie.
Yeah.
Judge Death isn't a zombie version of him. No, it's its own entity from another dimension.
Has he fought Archie?
Yeah.
Not yet, but I would love
They
to
should
see
just
that
like
crossover
cancel
with Riverdale.
Archie and make stuff about Jughead.
I actually like that.
They got one of the Sprouse brothers to play Jughead. He is amazing in that show.
I tried watching the first episode of that show. I want to continue more of it because I effed my ass off 15 minutes in. It is so awful.
It's not bad. It actually gets really good as it goes along.
Wait, is it? Is
Okay.
this
The
Riverdale?
writing of the first episode just... That was
That
what...
is bumpy.
My favorite fucking thing is how what was it? It's just the girl goes in saying, you know, I'm kind of a breakfast at Tiffany's gal, but this place is really giving me an in cold blood vibe. Like that's not how you write things. You just threw two things at the wall. That doesn't work.
The show
No
gets
one
pretty
talks like
dark and
this.
fucked up. Like there's mention of incest. There's
Oh yeah, that's another thing. I turned it off 15 minutes in because I was laughing my ass off so much at the fact that Archie was fucking his teacher.
Isn't she supposed to be an old hag in the comics?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh well, welcome to
It was
2016.
hilarious. The way they showed it was in a montage and it was so bad.
It actually got pretty good as it went on. Plus, I like the fact he wears a gorilla shirt. He wears a Dare shirt.
Ew.
The show gets really good. It introduces characters like Josie and the Pussycats, and I hear they might introduce Sabrina.
Ew.
I wonder if the spooky jar will be in it.
Seriously, it's trying to make Hot Topic rip-offs of fucking Archie characters. It's like, why?
To be fair, the comics did that first.
The whole thing of Archie is it doesn't work in modern day. The only way you can really do an Archie show in current times is like a self-aware parody, kind of like what the Brady Bunch movie did.
It can be that way. They even have a dream sequences where it takes place in the 50s or 40s or 50s, where everyone's in their right costume.
Just do something like what Pleasantville did. That's the best Archie movie.
I loved it. I mean, I understand if you didn't, but I recommend you watch the show. I love Jughead's performance because he apparently Cole Sprouse admitted that he based his performance off L from Death Note.
Nice.
Which I'm like, why didn't they get him for the movie?
He would have been an awesome L.
It's like he has that very still look on his face. He eats a lot of candy and junk food, but doesn't gain any weight. Possibly from the Robot Chicken example where he throws up in the bathroom. And it's really cool. Like, there's even a really good mystery going on in there where you're just like, oh, you think it'll suck, and you're like, you're drawn in, you're in. I love it. There's some parts that suck.
I still haven't finished the first episode.
I need to see that Riverdale, honestly, because I heard...
It's on Netflix, if you have it.
It is on Netflix. I might watch it later, but, you know.
Season 2, looking forward to that, baby.
I mean, I'm curious. I mean, I know there was one character who I think was the sibling for the brother that got killed, and I think she's like aware she's in a town that's like trapped, I guess, in the has like that 50s vibe or something. I think she's
it's really creepy cinematography.
The show is edited poorly, and the writing's not good from what I've seen, but it does look nice. It does look good. Like, the cinematography is good.
The first episode is cringy. Every other episode, it really gets good. I think at around episode 5, it really gets good. It's standard. It starts off standard, but I think down the way the creators are like, no, let's make this. Make it crazy. Like, Archie does actually have a band. Like, he does want to play guitar. He doesn't want to just be a football guy. Like, that's what I like about it.
Archie is a football player. I don't know much about the Archie lore.
Archie, he's a jock who wants to be a musician. That's his arc, but his friends want to get involved in a weird...
What was it? Oh, shit! I remembered the other line of dialogue that I thought made me cringe so hard. It's like, he looks like Ansel Elgort, but with red hair.
I don't know who that is.
Me neither.
He's that kid from Fault in Our Stars. He was actually good in Baby Driver. I was a little nervous about his casting, knowing his previous work.
Oh, that guy. Okay. Yeah.
I thought it was good.
But again, the show gets really good. I love the Josie and the Pussycats characters.
What happened to the Vacial in?
They're in all of it. Like, they're in a talent show episode. Like, they don't sing the iconic song though, which I'm like, oh, it's like I want to hear that song again after so many years of watching that weird music video montage of the Styles on Cartoon Network / Boomerang. A lot of people forget that, but I drink to forget, but I always remember. It's such a good show, to me at least. Obviously, my taste is a little bit different from everyone else in here. Commissar can also attest for that I have needs that his films can't satisfy.
I don't want to ask.
I like kind of schlocky stuff, but
okay.
I think there's good things in schlock because it's people taking a ridiculous idea and trying to make it their own and trying to make it really fun and enjoyable. Like Life Force, which is a good movie by sadly the passed on Tobe Hooper, which some people called it Tobe Hooper's Ben-Hur, which is about space vampires, which I loved. It's a lot better than Texas Chainsaw, in my opinion, which I understand if there are people who love that movie because of how psychologically damaging it is. This one is just scary in a very classic theater way. And I just like schlocky things, because sometimes you have more fun watching them. Like,
Yeah,
I
like
still
I'm
think
a big
Max Steel
fan
is
of.
fun.
I'm like a fan of stuff like Toxic Avenger, but was gonna say like what I look for. I think there are good movies that come from like genre areas, but I honestly, what I look for in a movie is more stuff like how everything works together to fit into the whole.
Yeah, not putting a square peg in a round hole.
Yeah, like if I appreciate movies that are able to combine, like it's an entertaining watch, but it's also like it has layers to it. I like stuff with layers.
Like onions. What are you doing in my theater?
I'm like, okay, so one of my favorite movies is A Clockwork Orange, and
Same.
that movie is something you can appreciate in multiple different angles.
Yes, like as a visual and as a literary, since it talks about human nature and free will.
Yes, exactly. You can look at all that stuff about human nature and free will, and you can enjoy it as that, and that's what I. Or you can just look at it as this really insane, crazy comedy. It's just an insane time.
Have you seen that video where someone said, "What if Clockwork Orange was was a Wes Anderson movie?"
No.
It's very well done trailer.
My apologies, fellas.
It's cool. It's fine. Added some much needed drama.
But I understand where you're coming from. I like things with schlocky and layers as well. Like, one of my second favorite schlocky movies is Sidekicks with Chuck Norris because of how weird it is.
Oh, yes.
But it also has the legendary Mako in it.
Mako?
Mm-hmm.
Who's Mako?
Aku.
Uncle Pyro.
Oh, Mike. Oh.
Mako.
Yeah, I understand. I know.
I always hear I hear him in like things like that. I hear him and
My apologies. That's my dog in the back.
Maybe the dog doesn't like him.
I am way more familiar with Avatar than I am with Samurai Jack.
Well, I'm more familiar with Samurai Jack than Avatar.
I'm familiar with both.
This isn't about you. Stay out. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with schlocky films as long as they don't piss you off. Like, Transformers pissed me off.
Yeah.
The first Michael Bay Ninja Turtles movie pissed me off. The second one I loved. The original trilogy of the X-Men films pissed me off.
Why?
X-Men Origins Wolverine pissed me off.
No, the origins of Wolverine I can understand, but what I can't understand is why you dislike
It didn't feel like the X-Men to me. Obviously, it was in the 90s. It was a different time. Toy Biz owned the license.
90s.
Those were during the tyrannical days of the evil producer known as Tom Rothman.
No more 90s.
Never heard of him.
Sam.
Oh, he committed so many sins. If you ever seen Alien vs. Predator, why those movies sucked, it was mostly because of him. Because he strip-mined them. They were supposed to be like how they were in the comics, where it takes place in the future with the colonial marines and everything from the original stuff.
Okay.
He's like, no, it'll make more money if we put it on Earth in contemporary time and make it PG-13.
No!
And he also destroyed a lot of the X-Men stuff by ridding the cast of their famous costumes, changed a lot of things around, and he purposely wanted X3 to suck so he can stiffy Bryan Singer, because he left Fox to go work for Warner to create Superman Returns.
We know how that turned out.
I mean, I kind of liked it. I just wish there was an actual villain in it. It had a great scene where Superman saved somebody, but that's besides the point. It's like Rothman did a lot of dumb shit for the company, and he rejected the idea of giant robots being in films. Meanwhile, DreamWorks greenlit the first Transformers movie, and like he made a bunch of bad decisions. And currently, he works at Sony, where he greenlit The Passengers, Ghostbusters, the last Spider-Man movies. Homecoming was not under his control. That's what I mean. Homecoming was not under his control. He just let the filmmakers do what they do while they take in the profits from the toys. They split it with Marvel and Disney.
Smart man.
He's in charge of the Venom movie, where they got 50 Shades of Grey script writers working on it. No.
50 Shades of Venom. Or 50 Shades of Symbiote.
No.
You don't understand. Venom is one of my favorite Spider-Man villains.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
He has such a cool origin. Like, I don't like Eddie Brock. I love the symbiote because it actually was in love with Peter. Like, the creators of the book even said, like, oh yeah, we wrote the character of the symbiote to be kind of like a very angry ex-girlfriend.
I mean,
very abusive one. It's like, it's only hanging around with Eddie to make Peter jealous.
That could be a possibility.
Like, it'll probably try to kill him, then merge with Peter again. Like, that's what I loved about it. Plus, it has one of the best Spider-Man suit ever. Well, other than Noir.
Noir.
Commissar really loves that Noir suit.
Noir Spider-Man was cool. I actually
it's basically
did a
Zack
costume
Snyder's Spider-Man.
For a Halloween party once.
Which I would love to see as a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Especially since Zack Snyder made a really big comeback on with his own short film that he shot on an iPhone, which looks amazing. About some abused girl that gets payback on the people who beat her up.
Oh.
I love those type of empowering stories where she's like, I'm fucking sick of this, and just deals with these crooks.
Nice.
A lot of people say, well, Zack Snyder's a sexist. Like, how is that sexist? He's getting back at them.
What proof do they have that he's a sexist?
Because a lot of
guilty
people
until proven
violence towards women. Like, they're kidnapped, they're at gunpoint a lot, they're lobotomized, but they always fight back.
You know something funny?
I thought Sucker Punch was one of my favorite of his.
There was the thing where the guy from Screen Junkies, the guy who created Honest Trailers, he's currently being rumored as being a sexual pervert, which, honestly, looking back, that isn't surprising. But the one thing that really gets me is the last Honest trailer I saw was one for Blade Runner, and then they make a joke about consent, and I'm like, I was watching Blade Runner a while ago, I was like, oh, yeah.
To be fair, that sex scene is kind of creepy because he's like, say, kiss me. I'm like, oh, okay.
That's true, but Andy Signore shouldn't be one to talk when he's currently being accused of being a creep.
Yeah.
That's personal stuff. Like, but I understand where you're coming from. But I'm just disappointed that really they're choosing lackluster people to make a movie about a pretty famous anti-hero created by Todd McFarlane to, just simply has a rights retainer, which is what Fox does with the X-Men, Fantastic Four, and Deadpool rights. But I understand why Sony wants to hang on to it, because they made the original Spider-Man film. They caused the superhero boom. Even though
no, they didn't cause a superhero boom.
No, of the 2000s. What really caused the superhero boom in terms of movies was the original 1989 Batman film.
Yeah.
And then
Even before, not only that, also Blade was a huge thing for a while.
Well, I'm talking about more ones that caused, like, this is the big boom, those ones.
Mm-hmm.
There's some that should have gotten more attention, like The Shadow or The Phantom, which is really big with my friends from Europe and Australia. And
I just remember the cartoon.
What, The Phantom?
Yeah, there's a cartoon of the Phantom. It's like in the future or something.
Where was this? I never saw this.
I have no idea. I think it was like one of those syndicated shows. It was like my local channel.
All I grew up with was RoboCop Alpha Commando.
I remember
Why is it
that.
only the Canada that makes RoboCop stuff? I don't get that.
Hmm?
Only Canada makes RoboCop stuff. It's like America doesn't want to watch that anymore.
I don't see well, I was never a big, huge fan of RoboCop either, but still, he had a very good story.
He did. It was about a man struggling to be human again.
Mhm.
And the cartoon was really good. I mean, it actually had a very satisfying scene where Murphy actually says goodbye to his family.
Mm.
That's good. I mean, it takes place years in the future.
But still, it still hurts.
I mean, the remake was okay. I mean, it has great performances in it, but it just didn't have anything that made the original good, like the satire, the commercials. Even the director said they took a lot of my ideas and threw them in the toilet, so I'm angry.
Yeah,
which is kind of what I think Sony is going to be doing with the Venom movie.
Yeah.
Which makes me go, I hope the Gambit movie destroys this movie, because I hear some guy named Gore Verbinski, something Insky is, sorry if I can't say his name right, is making the Gambit film. And I think he even made that one of my favorite films of 2016, Cure for Wellness. So I'm excited. Oh, you haven't seen that one? That's pretty good. A really good twist.
Okay.
Pretty fucked up movie, which I loved. But sadly, it has that creepy kid from Spider-Man 2 who played the new Harry Osborn in it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I had to sit for a little bit and think about what you were referring to.
What's the sitch?
No, who is this actor you speak of? And I'm like, think. Oh yeah, that's right.
I gotta admit, like, just a little off topic here, that I'm watching the slow-mo sequences in Dread. That's some of the best camera that they must have used for those scenes. So many frames per second are being, altered for that scene. And it's just so beautiful to look at. It just sucks that this film didn't do well, because thank you, Lionsgate, for fucking it over like they do with every movie. Which also made the Power Rangers movie. Which shows that they can't market a movie unless it's Hunger Games or something. My big question is, why is Lionsgate releasing so many movies? That doesn't really make sense. How?
I don't know. I guess
Is no other studio going to pick these films up and go,
probably.
nah, this isn't for us?
That's basically what Lionsgate is, just a dumping ground.
They make some great films, like they made some of the John Wick movies, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
What's the stitch? What? I'm conditioned to say that at this point.
Yeah.
But yeah, I look forward to the Venom film, but I'm
just confused as why Tom Hardy.
You're worried about whether or not it's gonna actually have a good payout or not.
Why did Tom? Wait, I thought they were gonna do Tom Hardy as Venom. No.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, like, I'm fine with who they got for it, but isn't he kind of short for the role?
Still.
There are plenty of short guys in the biz that they.
Hugh Jackman's short.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I heard. He's not as tall as they show him to be.
Oh, by the way, Scott Eastwood wants to play the next Wolverine. Would you guys like to see him as that?
No.
No.
Oh, he is?
Leave Wolverine dead.
Well,
They should have just, waited a few years, but nope.
You know there are other characters with Wolverine's powers, right?
Yes, like X-21.
And Jimmy Hudson, that's his son. Like, Wolverine has a lot of kids. The deadbeat dad.
He should learn how to pull out.
Can't, because his claws only do that. But
Aww.
Well, you'd think Wolverine living, like, I don't know how long.
He's lived since the 1800s.
Well, no, he was also in the Revolutionary War.
Really? Because I've only seen the one where he's in the Civil. All right.
I thought they talked about him being in the Revolutionary War. I may be wrong on that, but either way, he's old as hell. But either way, he never learned how to pull out in like 200 years.
He has old-fashioned ideals. He has a homicidal bisexual son from Japan. He has a okay guy named Jimmy as a son who automatically had adamantium claws for some reason, despite not going into Weapon X. And X-23, who's a homicidal clone of him. Jimmy's the only one that's normal. He's just like, "Hi, I'm Jimmy." Awkward pause when he says that. But yet they let him to be the new Wolverine of the X-Men. Hopefully they do put Scott in the suit, because I want to see Wolverine in the suit, damn it. I don't care how stupid it looks. Wolverine's costume is why people love Wolverine, other than his character and other things, you know.
Yeah, it's iconic, even if it looks really dumb.
It sucks. I mean, hell, that's why a lot of people liked X-Men Apocalypse, because at the end, what did they have on them?
They had the suits. Well, kind of.
And the suits looked amazing. Cyclops even had the yellow sash. I freaked out when I saw that sash. I was like, oh my god. My parents were looking at me going, are you retarded? It's like, I'm just kidding. My parents would never do that. But my sister probably would say that. Because she's my sister, and she's like, fuck you, Austin.
Yeah, it's family.
Family can be so mean to each other, but you know they actually mean it because it's coming from a place of truth. Because if you ask for your friends to be honest with you, they lie.
I don't think so. It depends on who you deal with and what type of personality you're basically dealing with. Because sometimes they can be just as bad.
Truth there.
Because I can tell you right now, with the people that I'm dealing with, they'll tell you to your face that, you know, something is amiss. Are you feeling okay? Or this is not usually out of your habit. Why are you acting this way? You know, I'm telling you right now that this is not a very good thing for you to basically deal with or start with or what have you. So, I don't know.
So are you still excited for the My Little Pony movie, Kitty?
Yes, I am.
I want to see it. Good.
But my
A friend of mine said that if I didn't see the movie, I wasn't supporting 2D animation, which I find, you know, kind of stupid, because if I said that, like, the same thing about the Teen Titans Go movie to them, they'd probably say, like, oh, I'm not gonna see that.
I don't like Teen Titans Go.
No one does. Yet they're making a movie anyway, so they can.
And people like Teen Titans Go. Just let them like it. It's a fucking show. Grow up.
You grow up.
Yeah. Tiny
Yeah, but the thing is, it's easy for one to say that when technically you have a group of late 20s, 30-year-olds that like anime and comic books and video games. And it's like basically you're turning around and saying, hello, Kettle, I'm black.
Well, there's a reason why, because human beings are hypocrites. We're born that way, and we have a sense of entitlement.
I don't agree. I definitely.
Like Rick.
I don't agree with that at
nothing
all.
we do matters. We all have a fucking sense of entitlement.
Renegade Angel was the better show.
No.
It is.
Mermaid Puss.
There, you Chomsky hunk.
No, I'm not one of those guys. I still like Rick and Morty.
You saw the new episode.
I thought the new episode was good, but back to what Kitty was saying, like,
Yeah.
What are you looking forward to in the movie?
Me?
No.
Kitty.
Gee,
I'm
the
not
thing is, I'm a thing.
I'm not looking forward to anything in the movie, but I did see the double toasted review of it, and that was fucking hilarious.
Well,
I don't know, they're not as good without Spill.
I was thinking of more, what is it? World building. I've always been into world building and character building. Excuse me. And just seeing how they can expand the universe as is. Because you have, of course, Ponyville and Saddle Arabia and Philadelphia.
I love how in
Canterlot, and you have all these other places.
Oh, sorry, but in the double toasted review, they just say like, "Oh man, you're not a fucking pony. You ain't with shit. You know, there's people fucking poverty and shit."
Wait, what?
That's what they said in the review, but honestly, they were just talking about how awful the experience was for them.
Was it because the movie was better, or because they went to a shitty theater?
I think both, because they were talking about getting seated into the role, and fucking Corey showed up to the movie hungover.
I think that, I mean, for all we know, the movie could be a nice little kids film. Like, I'm considering going to go see it because I used to be a brony, and it's like I
never
put
was.
my fedora back on just this one time.
I never was a brony or a Pegasus or what have you. I just like the show, just in general.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't really my thing. I never really got into it.
That's fine. I mean, but my only question is, like, I know there were characters in there that could easily stop this. Like, where's that guy played by Q from Star Trek? Discord.
Yes, what about him?
Oh,
Why
man.
isn't he in the movie? He could easily take out this threat.
But see, the thing is, he's Discord. Why would he want to do it? It has to be something in his interests. And also...
Like his friend Fluttershy, I guess?
Yeah, but it's like on again, off again. It's always an on again, off again type of thing. He'll deal with those two. So, you know, and he's the agent of Discord. Why stop something that basically causes turmoil and
because then he won't
ruin?
be able to have fun.
Exactly.
Everyone's misery is his joy.
Exactly.
So if someone else is miserable not because of him, there's a problem. He's basically me. It's like he needs to be the center of fucking attention because he didn't get enough hugs as a child. Too many.
So there you go. You just answered your own question.
Exactly. But I might want to see. I really like this character called Tempest. Again, I'm not a brony anymore. That life is behind me. But I do like the character that has like a blown up unicorn horn, and she's just got like a scar in her eye. I'm just like, that's edgelord like, but I'm fascinated by it. It's like, what's this backstory I see before me?
Hope we actually do
The
something
only
with
thing
the
that
Diamond Dog.
irritates me is Michael Pena's in it.
Oh god.
Michael
He was
Pena?
the only good part about Ant-Man.
What about Chips? He was terrible in that movie.
Oh, you saw that?
I haven't seen Chips.
Yeah, I saw it with
don't
my
want
mom,
to.
who
Oh,
wanted to
no.
watch that movie so bad.
Oh.
They should have like, what other TV shows have they made?
Baywatch, 21, 22 Jump Street.
Have they done a Murder She Wrote thing yet?
They're probably gonna do it with Tina Fey.
No, they're gonna get Kate McKinnon.
I would actually watch that because Kate McKinnon is actually funny as long as she doesn't do a Sony movie.
Oh, with like, who else would they be able to get for the Murder She Wrote movie? They'd get Betty White, and they'd make jokes about queefing. It's like, oh, this ain't your mom.
But hey, language. There's social people present.
That's right.
Sorry you had to hear that, Kitty.
It's alright.
Yeah.
I'm not doing this because you're a girl. I'm doing it because you sound a lot more educated than either of us.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, but you guys are very intelligent as well. It's just that you express it differently, that's it.
That's debatable, but thank you.
That's extremely debatable. I mean,
Well, I look at it as similar to Dexter's Laboratory. People, like, you know, I understand that Dee Dee is considered to be, you know, your stereotypical blonde-haired, everybody kisses her butt type of thing, popular girl. But technically, she is a scientist too, but just not in the same right as Dexter. Dexter is more book oriented. Well, she actually experiments with life itself. She actually goes out and tries things.
So she's going to be a drug addict in the future.
Yeah.
I hope not.
She's going to be she's a hippie. She is a Sochi.
You start out with ballet, the next thing you know, you're doing crack rocks. I mean, it's just the natural order.
A dark place.
Yes, it went to an extremely dark place. What's the
Hey, Bleed Man did it first by having Dee Dee killed brutally.
Oh man.
Oh, I heard of his works. I'm actually.
That was before I found out his interesting backstory, but I like the comic where it's like really fucked up, where Dee Dee dies in Dexter's arm after getting shot.
Question: Why?
Was it? Is it fucking Mandark that shoots her?
It was Mandark. It was by accident. He was aiming for Dexter.
Oh, it's like the fucking SNL skit and hide and seek by Imogen Heap starts playing.
Yeah, it's like it's as much as a death sentence as hide and seek.
Question. So, you said that Bleed
Wait,
Man
no,
has.
it's not Imogen Heap's hide and seek. It's like the Jason Derulo remix.
Or better, they play "Breathe Me" by Sia.
Oh.
But what happened?
Wait, no, they play that one song.
Kitty's talking.
Yeah.
With the Requiem for a
calm down,
Dream
Tim. Relax.
Down, boy.
Basically, I read the comics. I read the comics too, and basically, Mandark was using the jackpots for some weird reason. He attempted to try to kill Dexter, but Dee took the bullet for him, and Mandark fled. Dexter was depressed for a while. Even revealed the secret of his laboratory out of grief to his folks, but they understood. So he attempted to try to bring back Dee Dee as an android, even though a few pages earlier he promised he promised Dee Dee that, well, Dee Dee made him promise that if she ever died to not resurrect him. And it got dark. Like,
Question.
The best part of the comics was like
Kitty?
Samurai Jack exists in this world, but he's a gym teacher and his
What?
Wait, is this the same guy that made all those Powerpuff Girls comics that had all the Cartoon Network characters in them?
Yep, that's him.
Yeah.
Question.
Uh-huh.
So, but you make it sound like you found something really bad about him in general. Bleed Man.
On his Deviantart page, he likes to draw. Can I say this word on here? I'm gonna text it to Kitty in the main chat because I don't want to make it sound like I know something I shouldn't.
Well, to be frank, there are many times where I slipped up myself. Remember in the very beginning when I started visiting you guys?
Yeah.
I was putting out all these different subjects, and I was like, "Oh, is that too risque?" Oh, I see.
Yeah, underage.
He's kind of like a
creep.
creepier version of Shadman.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay, the thing with Shadman is that he knows what he draws is messed up, and he doesn't try to defend himself. He's like, yeah, I know what I'm drawing is fucked up, and
Only
I know.
he's not actually into that stuff. He's just drawing it to be a troll, while Bleed Man's like, oh no, I actually like this.
well, see the thing.
It's like, okay, yeah, you all know about Ben the Looney, right?
Yeah.
I know. I was in a podcast with him once. Jeez, nice guy actually.
Oh, Snoopcast, right?
Yeah.
Well, okay, so I've only talked to Ben the Looney once, but this was before all that stuff happened. Like, he was going to be on the Snoopcast some other time, and I was just kind of hanging out in the Discord chat they were on. But what I'm describing is fucking Ben the Looney most of what he draws now is like really, he's trying to be like Shadman, but he doesn't seem to know that the Shadman defense is what I call it, is acknowledging that it's fucked up and saying you're not into it, and saying that, oh yeah, I know that people are gonna find this messed up, and though I'm not personally into this stuff, I just draw it just to, piss people off. Ben the Looney thinks he has a right to draw the stuff that he does, just
Jesus,
because
man.
Shatner can. But the thing that makes, if he says that he knows how people will react to what he draws, but if he knew how people were going to react, he wouldn't be spending all this time saying that he is like, oh man, this is right. It's okay for me to draw this.
Well, here's the thing. I feel art is a tool, or it's a way for self-expression. We're affected by it every
but when you're consistently drawing like porn of the little girl from We Bare Bears aged up, that's kind of a problem.
I don't know about the age up, but if she was like a little kid still doing that, that's like...
Yeah, I
What were you gonna say,
I
Kitty?
agree with that, but the
Interrupt
thing
you
is,
again.
as an artist talking to another artist, I am not going to sit here and dictate what any artist should draw or not draw. If this is something that basically quells them from doing something really dumb, then I'm,
Okay, the thing about that is I don't know. It's just the fact that he seems to be into it in a way, which, okay, the thing is, like, he thinks that he's exempt from criticism. Like, I think you can criticize Shadman all you want.
You can criticize quite a few people.
If you criticize him for... Ben the Looney seems to think that he is exempt from criticism here.
No, that's impossible.
Hell, even I'm not exempt from criticism. Like,
No
anyone
one-
here, we're not
Nobody
exempt.
is exempt from criticism at all.
But I
And
acknowledge my
that's
things,
what
like,
Ben the Looney doesn't seem to understand, I
like,
think.
Ben doesn't know when to be self-aware or not. I don't think it's because of his autism. I think it's because, like, he's
Wait,
just
he has
making really
autism?
bad. Yeah,
Oh, he does?
Didn't notice.
I can tell, being someone where I will openly acknowledge this. I have it as well, small case, but I know people that have it severe. He doesn't have it as severe, but he's someone who has difficulty socializing, which means he has difficulty saying the right things at the same time. That doesn't mean he shouldn't think
I
about
can
it.
understand that, but I saw the video where he says, like, oh, this is why I draw lewd stuff. That video honestly just was like, oh...
Miss
Watching that
Kobayashi
video
said
just,
not
like,
to
felt
dang.
like something... He was talking about things, he's like, you're way too proud to be talking about this. Like,
I think he doesn't know what he's talking about, but it's still not excusing his behavior.
yeah,
And
he's
also,
like...
there's a
he talks
difference.
about how he
Tim.
wasn't able
Tim.
to jerk off very often.
Jeez.
Okay, just play like
I'm listening to the Laura
happens.
Palmer's theme from Twin Peaks as this discussion's
But also,
Wait, no, just play
Let
like
Kitty speak.
play the Eric Andre "We'll Be Right Back" music.
but
Yeah, go ahead, Kitty.
What I was saying is also it depends on what you're dealing with. Like, for instance, what you basically typed in, since I guess that's a subject that is not necessarily being, but dealing with that, you can have an appearance like that. I was raised up in, and this is me, and I will tell you right now, this is me being biased now. Because I was raised up in the Japanese culture when it comes to anime, the appearance of a person means nothing to me. It's not, it's a particular idea. As far as if you're stating, hey, this person is this particular type of age, I'm sorry, that is basically
Anime sword sound effect.
I think she just did that. That wasn't like a ringtone or anything.
But yeah, that is actually one of my ringtones. But yes, basically is
What's the sitch?
that's my siblings' ringtone. But
Okay. Tim.
Alright.
Yeah. Go ahead.
It was nice meeting
Can
you.
you continue what you were gonna say?
Yeah.
Okay, but it was nice meeting you then.
Okay.
Yeah, appearance means nothing to me, and I'll give you quite a few examples. Have you guys played Guilty Gear at all?
Once, yeah.
Dizzy? You know the character Dizzy?
Yeah.
Yeah, the hair.
She is
Girl.
She is technically 3 years old. She looks like She looks like she's in her 20s. She looks like a full-grown woman, but she's 3 years old. Another character in Lucky Star, and this is my boyfriend's favorite character, the blue-haired, I think is Sukuya. She's a lot older. She is a high schooler, and she looks like she's 5 or 10.
Well, that's all the characters on that show. It's just that guy's art style.
Yeah, that's true. Also, you have people with Claudia syndrome, like in Trinity Blood, Seth, the Empress of the Vampire Nation. She has the appearance of a little child, but her mental stasis and her age is far beyond that. She
like
has,
that terrible anime, The Vampire Bun.
Yeah, that's another one. That's another character. Heck, my husbando went that route when he Alucard went that route when he turned into the one from his past life. I do not acknowledge him as a female because I don't understand. It's just his voice doesn't change, and then he looks like a little boy. So I don't know how to feel.
What's wrong with women looking manly?
It's not that. It's his voice also doesn't change either.
So he just sounds like an
Sorry, you're
adult.
just triggering me right now. I can't believe
I look like a 10-year-old girl, but I sound like a 30-year-old smoker.
That means that 10-year-old girl's jacked. Don't mess with me, bro.
And then
I got that Disney Channel flow.
And the thing of the matter is, I love my husbando no matter what form he takes. It's just that.
Even Steve Buscemi.
The destroyer, the trap.
Good thing I brought
Alucard changes his form to be Steve Buscemi. From now on, he's got the eyes and everything.
Better. He's the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, but with Steve Buscemi's face. It's not like it's super glued on his face. It's like Steve Buscemi.
I was in a bunch of good movies. Remember me?
Okay, yeah, Kitty, you
I
can
would
finish.
love that shit.
But the fact of the matter is, because I was exposed to all these different animes, where it causes the mind to basically shift in appearance. Like, appearance means nothing, it seems. When it comes to quite a few animes, such as Frieza with his constant transformation, Goku with his level and changing of hairstyles.
Wait, Frieza's a dude?
See, there we go. Alucard's constant changes throughout the series from his days in World War II all the way up to his actual form as Dracula. What is it? Sebastian, my other husbando, who has several different forms, including one form that is so grotesque you don't really see anything but his high-heeled boots. Yeah,
Alright, let me look up the photo. Oh dear God, he's Ricky Moody.
All right.
But
I think I'm gonna head out now.
All right.
Okay.
See you, Tim.
Okay.
It's,
Oh, by
it's
the way,
up to
Turner,
guys
you
to
get
decide
an
if you have-
app.
I look forward to seeing what this yields.
Okay.
To see a reaction of you just with your head and your hands going. Wow.
Yeah. So
I mean, no one's gonna watch this anyway,
No.
so it's all.
yeah.
Or are they?
There's like 20 people that watch this.
Yeah.
Well-
Spread it around. Spread it.
You're gonna spread like herpes.
Like a computer.
Oh my. That's
Do
terrible.
you have herpes?
Hmm?
No,
Then you seem to know a lot about what happens with it.
Yeah.
it's an STD, sexually transmitted disease.
Yeah, like
Yes.
that.
That's what happens.
I thought it stood for sodas transmitted disease. Man.
You just open up a thing for 7-Up. It's like, oh hey, I have herpes now.
I mean, I've been avoiding like Sprite and Coca-Cola all these years, and now I realize there's so much regret in my life now.
You know, I'm just gonna go before this gets worse.
I regret
nothing.
nothing.
Was worse.
Yeah, like it was good from the beginning.
You did good, Tim. Thanks for being on.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, using those as just little small examples, it seems like appearances mean nothing. So, I don't consider it that much of a big deal unless you're actually saying, hey, this person is not, who is technically a minor.
Yeah,
you're
but
saying flat out, minor. Nope, that's it.
Yeah, and it wouldn't be a problem if he was like you said, he's drawing them as aged up, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's not too creepy. I mean, it's kind of weird. It'd be weird if he was just drawing like them in their regular kid forms.
Yeah, that's a little like.
Because he did have this one picture of like a Lincoln Loud from the Loud House with I think it was Yumi from Hi Puffy on the Yumi. Even though aren't they like in their 30s or something? Even though in the cartoon they're like teenagers or something.
Yes. What about them?
I don't know. It's just weird because they were like in a suggestive position together. And Lincoln's like a little kid. I don't know if he aged him up or not in that picture though.
Yeah, then that's I don't know how to feel that. I feel kind of awkward with that.
Yeah.
Because the reason why I don't want to throw salt on people and tell them what they can and cannot
No
draw.
one wants to salt the snail.
Right, and then on top of that, me myself, I have my unusual interests as well. So, you know, I'm not, as the good book usually says, let he, without sin, cast the first stone. I'm definitely not like that. I can safely say I had quite a few faults, and I have my own interests too that are considered to be taboo.
Like, one of mine involved morph suits.
Morph suits?
Morph suits, sorry.
Oh. I was thinking of Morty suits.
Morty suits, haha.
Well, I can safely say I have a obsession with what my husbandos are.
Yeah, you like the vampires?
Mm-hmm.
I bet you love film shows like Blood Lad, then.
Blood Lad was very interesting, but I felt it was too short.
That's what I said about Symbiotic Titan.
Oh.
Please don't remind me of that show. It was a good show.
It was.
Here's something to make it back.
And, you know, it was very interesting scenario. Like, oh, are you going to rejuvenate this girl because you are interested in her and you want things to be well, or you're just doing it to actually, you know, have her for yourself? I'm sorry, that sounds so horrible.
No, it's fine. So you guys want to end it off here? Let me see how long it's been going. Yeah, I think we should stop. Okay, well.
Oh, wait. There's a lot more topic. Well, maybe just another time.
How about this? Next podcast,
Uh-huh.
you get to talk before any of us.
Yeah, because we've interrupted you a lot.
We interrupted you a lot, and we feel really bad about it, but Tim...
Yeah, Tim was a naughty boy.
Tim's a good guy, though. He
Yeah,
just, like,
I'm sure
No,
he's just getting excited.
I understand that. It's just, I just don't get a chance to spend time with. I don't get a chance to spend a lot of time with my friends, you know, my fellow geeksters and otakus. I'm always working, so any type of bit of social interaction I can get, I just try to squeeze every bit of minutes that I have with it. And I had like a laundry list of stuff. Like I wanted to talk about the new Inhumans show because I saw the first episode. I wanted to talk about Game of Thrones because we didn't. It's been that long.
Oh god, I have so much to talk about that show.
Midnight Texas was another one. How did anybody like the finale or like the show? Would they like to see season 1? Are they looking forward to Lucifer? What did you guys think about The Flash for the second season? Do you think it, how it ended? Did you like it? Didn't you like it? Should they continue with the series or should they cut it off? What is it? New animes that are coming up. I've been watching My Hero Academia. I just got back into it and I started watching Little Witch Academia. Any retro shows, like for instance, I never saw Lost Girl before and I just got into it and it's a very interesting show.
Okay, yeah, we'll do that next time. We'll have
All
everything
right.
laid out.
And I never got to talk about my Warhammer things.
Oh, that's another thing for.
Do not worry,
comments
comrade.
there.
You'll be able to next time.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No, it's fine. I'll see you guys later then.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
I hope you guys all have a good night.
Bye.
You too.
Later.